Theresa May has won this no confidence vote, but it's still very uncertain whether Brexit will happen at all. How is this uncertainty impacting the UK tech scene?
Well, I think let's not forget a couple of things. First of all, Theresa May, like 99% of the tech sector in the UK, is a Remainer at heart. That's the first thing. She knows, and the tech sector knows, that anything about uncertainty that limits immigration and talent and that makes it more uncertain for people to invest makes it harder for everyone to do business. So we all want her, effectively, to win out this. And that's the first thing. The second thing is that London remains, as you said, the biggest hub for European investment. It's got more than 2x the number of dollars going in or pounds going in than any other European hub. So it remains, even over the last year and a half of uncertainty, still the strongest. And the third thing is that Europe and Theresa May and the tech sector all want this to be the softest possible Brexit, and that's the handshake deal that they've got to try and get it done. So that's the way they're going. So
there are many possible scenarios, but let's talk about two of the most extreme. One, Brexit happens. Brexit happens, how does that impact the UK tech sector and investment? Does the rest of Europe start to get a greater share?
Well, already at the moment, London and as the UK's loss has been the rest of Europe's gain. Paris in particular has gained a lot. A combination of friendly tax strategies, a great investment in things like AI has seen it do really well over the last 2 years in attracting talent that would have normally gone to London. But that will start to normalise. Anything that gets resolved, whether it's a soft or a hard one, is frankly a good thing. I mean, if you talk to most people in London in the tech sector, they just want certainty and they want it done as quickly as possible, whichever way it is, and then we'll get on with it and we'll build great businesses.
Now, haven't some UK tech companies postponed hiring, postponed CapEx, while they're waiting to see what happens? Sure. And if scenario two, Brexit does not happen, are they behind?
Yeah, they are behind. And this is like, it's put basically an 18-month hole and pause in these companies. LPs have not been investing. Certainly European LPs who have had uncertainty have pulled out of the market. So it has definitely caused a delay for everyone. Whether you're an investor, whether you're a company building, it's made it tough for everyone. But that said, London's still done pretty well, right? And Europe, as a sector, has done extremely well in VC returns over the last 2 years. It's actually outperformed most sectors globally in that respect.
How is this impacting your investment strategy at EQT?
We look for great companies, great founders, right? So and we've lived through many downturns. I started my first business in 2000. We've lived through 2007 to 2009. You look for great companies, they always get funded. It has made it harder for sure, but it's allowed funds that operate across Europe, like EQT, to back some really amazing businesses.
What are the up-and-coming Silicon Valleys of Europe that we should be watching? What cities do you think will become the next hotbeds in the midst of this uncertainty?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think London's going to remain probably the #1 for quite a while. Paris and Berlin are both. Berlin used to be a huge hub back in the days of the Rocket Internet days. Now they're recoming with a lot of amazing startups. Paris, as I said, with AI and a lot of deep tech. We've invested in a company called Tiny Glues there, which is amazing. And then you've got some really unexpected sectors like Estonia, right, which people wouldn't think of as huge, but is actually per capita deploying more venture dollars and more startups than anywhere else in Europe. Amazing companies coming out of that. And the Nordics continue to be, for gaming, mobile, you know, the core of the whole of actually globally.
We've seen a big crackdown in Europe on big tech and on smaller tech. I mean, we saw crackdown from London regulators on Uber. Do you think Uber, a company that tried to break a lot of rules in a lot of different companies in the name of growth, can ever recover?
Well, it's a great question. I think, first of all, I mean, let's talk about Europe and tech. I think people have a slightly different view in Europe of what the European community thinks about tech. I don't think they see it as anti-tech, or protectionist. I think it's more in line with what Europe does about legislating on things like monopolies or on data protection for its consumers rather than being anti-tech. London Uber is a special situation with London Cabbies, who is an institution in London and quite rightly felt they needed some protection. And there was a personal battle going on between the London mayor and the founder. So I think it's a bit of a special, but these guys, companies like Uber, but also all the scooter companies, have learned that you have to work hand in hand with regulators, not just in Europe, which is for sure has happened in London, but actually in cities here, where the scooters got thrown off the streets and then now are back, right, which is great. But they've had to learn how to be hand in hand with regulators.
So, quick last question: what trends should we be watching in European tech?
Right, what do we love in European tech? Well, we love health tech and femtech. More investment has gone in over the last 2 years into that sector, and Europe is a particular hotbed for that with the way that health is funded there. An amazing company that just got FDA approval here called Natural Cycles, which is basically a pregnancy through AI app. It's an amazing way for women to control their health. We're seeing that across all sectors. So health tech and femtech is one, huge. Second one, AI and robotics. Right, these are big buzzwords. There's been lots of money going in, but actually in 2019, what we will start to see is all that money that's been invested now coming into our daily lives. The emails you get, the phone calls you get, the art you look at, the TV, and even the music you listen to will increasingly become AI generated.
All right.